Ladies and gentlemen, we're installing gauges today. What's up everybody? It's your boy Beezy coming back with yet another video. As you guys can see, today we are going to be installing gauges in the Z. So as some of you guys know, I'm going to be boosting my Z. When it comes to boosting a car and just having a car being faster and doing any type of performance things, you need to know what's going on with the engine. So that's why I went ahead and got these gauges. Now, as you guys can see, there's a large stack of gauges here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Your boy kind of wasn't really thinking when he bought stuff. I actually have more gauges than what's currently here. But yeah. In today's video, we are going to be installing the wideband boost controller gauge, 1, the oil pressure / oil temp gauge, 2, and then we are going to be installing the fuel pressure gauge, 3. So inside, you know, your factory gauges, you have your multifunction gauge over here, you have your oil pressure gauge, and then your battery voltage gauge. And I plan on taking these gauges out and replacing them with my gauges I was talking about. Let's go ahead, put this up on the tripod and get ready to start disassembling the interior. Alright guys, so off camera I was trying to mess with these adapters to try to have the gauge fit in there, but with the Innovate gauges, I think it's just because of how this bezel is, I'm not able to. But I did find out if I just like shove my gauge through and then use like the little T-bracket, I'll show you guys real quick. So I don't know, maybe with the AEM gauges or another brand, those adapters will fit in, but these it does not.
A few moments later.
Hey guys, that look dope. Let's go. You can still kind of see the trim up here, the factory piece, but I really don't care because at a distance you can't even really tell. And then this is what this looks like on the back. Like I said, I just used the mounting tabs that came with the gauges. And we're gonna go like that. As far as wiring this stuff goes, what I plan on doing is I'm just going to splice all the power, the ground, and the illumination wires together. This gauge has a lot more wires, but we'll look into that as time goes on. Okay, so we got the wiring side just about wrapped up as far as the gauges go. I basically wanted to make sure everything was nice and neat and flowing properly. I got to cut my zip ties, but then my harnesses for my wires. Got my headlight dimming, 12-volt switch, and then ground. There's some other wires that I gotta look at the manual, see what they go to. So with the center console pretty much wrapped up, now we have to bring power up to the gauges. The way how I'm gonna go about bringing power to them may be different than what you guys would do. In my trunk, I've added in a fuse block, mainly because of my subs, and I wanted to come off of those and be able to give auxiliary power to things inside the car. Here I have a relay box that has different wires and stuff obviously coming off of it. This relay box is fed from this distribution box, which also powers my amp and gives ground and all that stuff for the system. Back here I have all my different circuits of things that I want to be able to control through my relays. I still have to get my switching power back here to the fuse block, and then basically I'm going to run wires from here through the center and up there to where the gauges are. Now I know that that may seem pretty complicated and somewhat unnecessary, or some may seem that's unnecessary. I didn't want to tap into any of the car's factory fuses or anything like that, like, you know, splicing fuses or anything like that. But yeah, let's go ahead and pull some wire through the car. Alright guys, so now that the power wire has been ran to where it needs to go, I feel like this will be a good time now too to start actually installing the sensors for the gauges and getting all the wiring to where it needs to go inside of the car. I think I'm actually going to start with the fuel pressure gauge first, because that's right up top and easy to get to. I have an adapter from Z1 in which I can, underneath the pulsation damper, there's going to be a block that goes there, and I can be able to tap into that to get the fuel pressure signal. Alright guys, so as you guys can see, I went ahead and took all the covering off that goes around the battery. I got a wire through that I'm going to use to fish the cable for the sensor down into the interior of the car. So here's our sensor wire. I'm just going to tape that onto that wire and probably pull another wire through with it, just in case if I need to get back in through that side. Alright. We got that wire inside the car. That's one sensor down, 2 more to go. Update, I kind of changed my mind on something. You guys can see here, well, I made my own hole and put a grommet in so I can bring the wires through. If you guys notice, I have another wire. That wire is going to be for the wideband. I'm just going to go ahead and go off of the passenger side with the gauge, and I figure I just bring everything through the passenger side. Oh no! My wire came unattached. Now we have officially finished pulling all the wire from the engine bay into the chassis of the car. Whew. I did not forget to bring any more wires through this time. So if you guys have made it this far into the video, please go ahead and hit that like button. And if you're not already, make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. I will really appreciate it, and it helps me out greatly. All right, guys, so we have a little bit of a failure. Well, I'm not gonna call it a failure, but there was a fuel leak, and pretty much I doubt that you can see it on the camera, but basically the O-ring for the fuel dampener is split. So I found that out because I started up the Z, so that way I was just going to put it up on the ramps, and I start seeing fuel leaking from there, and it is that O-ring for the dampener. As you guys can see right here, rip. So hopefully we can find a new one. Wish me luck.
One eternity later.
So the gauges are working and they're doing as they're supposed to. Oh, I need to show you guys one little cool thing that I'm doing too. So with the wideband, of course, when I go through tuning, once I start doing my tuning, I'm going to need to be able to get the data from that into the laptop. So stealth mode, I've got my cable that's hooked up directly to the wideband, so that way I can be able to hook it up and data log when that time comes. I also have a serial to USB adapter on the shelf somewhere that stay. So guys, one issue that I had came from this fuel dampener right here. The O-ring that went on the bottom of it had, of course, ripped, and I got a new replacement, and that is working now. The next thing was that it was a port that was on this adapter that was leaking. It's the port that's on the back. Can't really see it right now. When it comes to fuel, you cannot use regular Teflon tape. I did not know that at first. Whatever. But I did find a product of which I use that was able to help me out with the leak associated with that port as well as the sensor. This is the product that I use right here. This also works for ethanol fuel. As you guys know, once I get boosted, I plan on running E85. So basically what I did was I just used that in place of Teflon tape and just coated the sensors as well as that bung that was on adapter, on the Z1 fuel adapter, tighten everything down, no more leak, so we good. I don't know what it is or why I'm always getting cursed with some sort of leak when I'm working on something, but hopefully that's in the past now. We don't have to worry about that anymore. Last time, I believe this whole area right here was off because that's where I ran my wires through. I have the grommet over here so that way everything's coming through nice and neat. I have it wrapped up nice and neat underneath here as well. You can't even see it because it's underneath all that. I don't feel like taking all that off. Oh, and also too, I went ahead and mounted the map sensor up against the plastic here. Pretty much I just used some self tappers and cut them down shorter, and they're black as well, so they just kind of blend in a little bit. So boom. The only thing that I really have left wiring wise to do would be to extend the wiring for the boost solenoid, because my boost solenoid is right here and it's not as far in as I would like for it to be, because the wiring on the factory harness is not really long enough for it. I mean, what can you expect? Nobody else really mounts their stuff in the trunk. But anyways, I'm gonna clean up back here a little bit later too. So now is gonna come the best part, in which I'm going to show you guys what these gauges look like in action. So hopefully it does not rain on me, because I hear thunder in the background, and here in Ohio be Ohioing. That's all that I can say. So let me go ahead, close the Z up so that way we can get out, and I'll show you what these gauges look like.